I've got a little bit of a fire. I'm just playing local home games. I played, I think I've won three in a row. One of those a chop. One was actually a second place finish, as I mentioned last week. That was about 40 players. The chop was two tables, 18 players. And then last night, I finished first place. Does four tables, eight tables each. The Thursday local private game, but it's by invitation only. But it's a larger group, and in addition to finishing first place, there was a chocolate Belgian chocolate turkey giveaway for first place. In addition, that was kind of like the trophy, and I was very happy to take that down. The only thing I'm doing different, I think I'm just running good, or I'm just betting, three betting a lot. I'm playing sort of connected. So if I'm gonna get in a pot, I limp very rarely, and I fixed. I think it might have been a leak. I didn't realize it, but my bet sizing. I keep track of how much is in the pot, and I make sure to bet a good amount, half to a full pot, and it's amazing. You don't think you get paid, and you get paid. And if anything, the more you bet, the more they think either bluffing. But also, it helps that I actually do bluff, and I get caught once or twice per session, and it's good because they're thinking about it a long time before they call me, and then most of the time I have it, but not always. So they have no idea, and I'm getting in a lot of pots. Any cards that I like, I'm getting in. I don't care if it's been raised coming to me, or if I'm doing the raising, or if it's been lumped in or whatever. Like any sort of connected cards, sometimes even gappers. So yeah, it's going good, and I'll discuss some of the more interesting hands. So very early on in the tournament, I'd been getting in. I'd won a couple of pots, nothing major. I was under the gun with ten of spades, jack of spades. So I limp in. One of the few times I limped in. I limp in with ten jack, and there was action behind me. There was a caller, and then somebody on the button made a pretty good raise. A normal raise. And the two blinds call, so we go into the pot, five handed, and the flop comes out 5, 7, 8. Here I have a gutter shot, but I missed my suit. I have the spades. I'm expecting a bet. I'm thinking I'll call a reasonable bet, but it gets checked around, including by the button who had raised initially, and I was happy to see that. And the turn comes out the nine, giving me the nut straight. So I lead out a pretty good sized bet because there's a flush draw out there, and there was no action on the flop. So I'm not gonna get. I got to build a pot a little bit. So I made almost a pot sized bet, somewhere between uh, 2/3, 3/4 of the pot. They all fold except for the small blind. He calls me, and at this point, we started with 40K and chips. He had maybe 35, 36. I have enough high 40s for me. So he calls me, and I'm happy about that. The river comes out of four, nothing changes. I still have the nuts. And I look, and I bet 15,000, which is pot size bet, maybe a little bit over. I wanted, to put him, uh, make a decision and hope. But he did even better than call me. put all his chips in, which was like double my bet. He had about 35 or so. I call and quickly turn over my 10 jack, for the nut straight. He had turned a straight because he had played ace six from the small blind, and this was the start of good things and lots of chips coming my way for the night. So about halfway in the tournament, I'm still doing well. Just playing nice and well. In late position, might have been in the cutoff. I was dealt ace king. I make good raise, and it's been folded to me. So the button calls and the big blind calls, and I'm happy with that. Unfortunately, the flop comes out 6-6 jack. I'm thinking I got to see bet with this. Ace king is probably good, or I have outs. And they both called me, and they both, at least one of them was definitely very good. The other one is good too, but they play tighter games. But they're capable of making moves. So they both called me. I had made maybe about half the pot size bet. So turn is ace of hearts, my ace king. I feel like this looks good for me, and I bet a good amount, maybe 2/3 of the pot. The button goes away, and the big blind calls me. So now I'm thinking, okay, he probably has a six, but I think he would have re-raised me by now, or he's on a draw. I just didn't like him calling me there. So the river comes out, the 10. Now I have to worry about king, queen, hand like ace, jack, ace 10. 10 jack wouldn't have mattered because ace and the two sixes, but I also didn't put him on that. But I was worried. So I decide I'm going to check, control the pot with the idea that I'm going to call his bet. And he bet about half the pot, maybe a little bit over. And I called him, turn over my ace king. He had flopped the boat. He had jacks, did not re-raise me pre-flop, which it's not a bad play on his part because had a re-raised. He was in the big blind, and he could see with the jacks. Medium pairs. We're playing super deep too. So he tells me like, oh, the ace got me paid. I had to wait, and So that was a good hand. Kind of bad run out for me, but that's part of the game. So I continue to play aggressively in my entire range. I did not fold any suited connected cards. King queens. I played all my Broadway cards, suited, unsuited. I mean, if there was a massive raise, I'd go away, but I try to see flops. I played, I got in with raises whenever I could. So eventually, we were down to I think two tables, but before the final table, there was maybe like 12, 13 players left, 6 and 7 on the two tables. I was down. I had lost a big pot. I don't remember exactly how it was, but it was just one of those normal hands. And I was down to about 8, 9 big blinds, and the blind levels are super, super high. And one really good player, but he's aggressive. He'd been basically just surviving, just pushing most of his aces, and he was under the gun. So he goes all in. Even though he was a small stack, he actually had me covered. He might have had 10 big blinds. It comes to me, 7 king of spades. The blinds are going to eat me alive, and I don't really have that much time left. That's good enough to shove with, call a shove with, or put all my chips in because it's a chance to double up. I probably have 2 live cards. I'm suited. He could be doing this with ace anything, any medium to small pairs. I prefer no pairs on his part. I could, ace queen, I'm still alive. So I call him. He turns over his hand. He had ace jack, had seven king. I know I'm alive. Flop comes out 4, 10, 8. It's clean. But on the turn, I hit my 7, and it holds up. And I get a nice double up to kind of back up to like about 14, 15 big blinds, which is a lot. And a little bit later, we were down to 10 players left, and at this point, I built up my stack back up. So we're one player away from the final table, and early position, 2-4 hearts. I raise, I raise with it, hoping just take the blinds, but it rolls over to the big blind, not the big blind, the button. He had maybe 130, 140K, and blinds were 10, 20, had made it 45. So he goes all in. Everybody else folds. I'm getting decent odds. I only have to put in another 70K or so. I think he had like 115, 120, somewhere in that range. And with the blinds being so high, I think for a little bit, and I said like I'm gonna call. He turns over ace queen. I have my 4 deuce. This is not really a great spot for me, but the flop was excellent. It was like 2 hearts. I could see in his face that he's like panicking. He was like, "Oh, not like this." The turn of the 6 was running clean. He hits his queen. Unfortunately, it was a heart. Flushed it up, and I took down the pot. He took a break because we went to the final table, and 9-handed. Again, same format as last time. First place was about almost 2K, but you're only paying top 5. So we decided to take some money off the top, give places 6, 7, 8, 9, $100 each, and there were a couple of guys that had massive stacks going in, but I ended up taking it down. Just methodical. One of them was made a move on me. Flop was queen jack 3. I had king 10 of clubs. I had raised pre-flop. He had called me from the blinds. And the other limper, when the flop came out, 2 queen jack. I put in a small raise, and one of the bigger stacks goes over the top of me, like 2.5x raise. I think he made it like 250 or something. I had maybe 500K. A little bit less, 490, 480. So when the other guy folded, I just went all in. I go all in. He makes me count my chips. So once I took out the 247 we put in, it was another 230, which is like almost nothing for the amount he put in, less than he had raised. And he must have been making a move with air, and he folded his hand. Ended up going out. The very final hand was pretty interesting. So eventually we were a heads up. The biggest stack at the table, we got to the final table, and me, who had medium stack, small to medium stack going in. But we get to the final table. We're heads up now, and we have similar stacks. I have maybe 1.5 million. He has maybe 1.3. He'd won a couple of the pots. Heads up, either third or fourth hand. I was dealt 10 jack, and I raise it, and he calls me, and the flop comes out 4, 6, 10. I love this. I have top pair. He checks, and I bet, and he calls me. So I'm thinking maybe he's on a draw. I like my 10. The turn comes out a 7. This time I make a bigger bet, almost pot sized. And he tells me that I raise. I go all in. He says, I'm all in. I snap call him, turn over my 10 jack. I'm happy to see it has a 10 and a small card, and then I look over, it's a 4, so he flopped. He had 2 pairs. Yeah, I still have out a 6, 7, or a jack. You know, gives me the win. The river is a jack. I had my second pair, have the 2 bigger pairs. And he was disappointed and anguish, but you know, it's part of the game, and I thought I was good. It was a pretty good game, and I was able to take down first place and Belgian chocolate turkey.
Turn it up.
Ace of diamond and something else. Got 2 10s.
He's already.
And we got kings. King of diamond.
Burn. Oh boy.
10s are good.
Kings. Oh, kings.
Kings are good.
Kings.
All right, so